Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Sri Guruvayurappa Sharanam. This video is in continuation to my earlier video on the saga 34 slogas 1 to 5 of Ramayana story of Narayaneeyam. The story here we will be taking up the slogas 6 to 10 of the same the saga. The story described in these slogas are: shortly after Rama's departure, his father King Dasharatha died of grief. Bharata was at once called back from his uncle's house. Bharata arrived before his mother Kaikeyi and learned first that his father was dead and then that his brother was exiled on the wish of his mother. Bharata was shaken with remorse and called Kaikeyi a murderess. To Bharata, there was no question of assuming the throne without Rama and Lakshmana. After performing the funeral rites of his father, he set out without delay to bring Rama back. Bharata told Rama of Dasharatha's death and pleaded for Rama's return to take charge of the kingdom. Rama told Bharata that he has to return back and take charge because that was his father's last wish. Bharata relented but took back with him Ramachandra's sandals, promising to dedicate the kingdom to the sandals of Rama, that is Rama Padukas, and to wait in an ascetic observance for the expiration of the 14-year exile period. Now, the first clash with the demon king Ravana took place through his sister Shurpanakha. She was a monster who wandered into the cottage of Rama and was struck with lust on seeing the Lord. She delivered some low insults to Sita, and for that Lakshmana cut off her ears and nose. Running back to the camp of Ravana, she howled for revenge, and the death struggle thus commenced. To implement the abduction of Sita, Ravana called on his warlord Maricha. Ravana asked Maricha to take the form of a golden deer to frisk in front of Sita. Maricha, in the form of a wonderful deer with silver lining, appeared before Sita in the forest. In so many ways, he drew the mind of Sita, who asked Rama to catch the deer for her. Cognizant of Maricha's deception, Rama decided to go after the deer and kill him. Rama firmly ordered Lakshmana to stay behind with Sita. He then pursued the deer. Rama shot one deadly shaft which entered Maricha's heart like a flaming snake. Maricha, in the hideous form of a huge Rakshasa, now rolled upon the ground. With his last breath, he cried out loudly, "Alas, Sita! Alas, Lakshmana!" Waiting with Lakshmana in the cottage, Sita heard these cries and believed it was Rama and that he was in some danger. She told Lakshmana to go at once for help, but Lakshmana dismissed the idea and Rama could not be in danger. Sita accused Lakshmana of not going to help Rama out of lust for her. Lakshmana could not bear to hear such unfair word from Sita and left to seek out Rama. This was the moment Ravana had been waiting for. He found Sita alone and carried her off forcibly. Ravana could only threaten Sita that if after 12 months she did not favorably turn to him, he would kill her. Coming back to the cottage, Rama was totally upset on not seeing Sita. Lakshmana attempted to draw off Rama's despair by sensible words, but he paid no attention. Finally, the brothers found signs of Sita, pieces of clothing torn while resisting Ravana, and ornaments which had fallen from her as she rose up in his chariot. They also found the bloodied dying body of Jatayu, the ancient king of birds who made a valiant attempt to stop Ravana's flight. Frothing in his last blood, Jatayu informed Rama that it was Ravana who had taken Sita. After performing the death rites of Jatayu, who died after passing on the information, on the way to Pampa river, demon Kabanda was slayed by Rama, and then they went to the banks of Pampa river and blessed the great Rama devotee there, Shabari, and also were delighted to meet Hanuman. These are the contents of the sloka 6 to 10 of Narayaneeyam, which will be seen here. श्रुत्वा पुत्रार्तिखिन्नं खलु भरतमुखाल् स्वर्गयादं स्वदादं तप्तो दत्वाम्बुतस्मै निदधिद भरते पादुकां मेदिनीं च अत्रिं नत्वाथ गत्वा वनमतिविपुलं दण्डकं चण्डकायं हत्वा दैत्यं विराधं सुगतिमकलयः चारुभोः शारभङ्गीम्. Hearing from Bharata about father's demise on account of the pangs of separation from thee, you were tormented and performed tarpana for father. Then you bestowed the sandals and the kingdom to Bharata and paid homage to sage Atri. Then going into the dense vast forest Dandaka, you killed the ferocious bodied demon Viratha and graciously gave salvation to sage Sharabangi. नत्वागस्त्यं समस्ताशरनिगरसभद्राद्रिकिं तापसेभ्यः प्रत्यौषषी प्रियैषी तदनुजमुनिना वैष्णवे दिव्यचापे ब्रह्मास्त्रे चाभिदत्ते पितृसुहृदं वीक्ष्य भूयो जडायुं मोदाल् गोदा तडान्ते परिरमसि पुरा Panjavatyam Vadhutya. After paying obeisance to sage Agastya, you, the well-wisher of the sages, promised to destroy the multitude of demons to the core. Then the sage gave thee the divine Vaishnava bow and also the Brahmastra. Though also met your father's friend Jatayu and lived happily with thy consort Sita in Panchavadi on the banks of the river Godavari. Urpanakya madana chaladriter artanair nisahatma tam saumitro visrijya prabalata marusha tena nirlunanasam Drishvainam društachittam kharamabhi padidam dushanam chatrimurtham व्याहिंसीराशरानाप्ययुध समधिगान् तक्षणा दक्षतोक्ष्मा. Shurpanaga approached thee, overcome with passion, annoyed by her love-lorn advances. You set her away to Lakshmana, who, in great rage, cut off her nose. Khara, Dushana and Trishira, seeing her state, came to attack thee in great anger. O Hare, whose powers know no decline, you killed them, and other more than 10,000 Rakshasa all at once, then and there. Sodarya proktavarta vivasha dashamukhadishtamari chamaya sarangam sarasakshya स्पृहितमनुगत प्रावधीर्बाणघातं त्वन्मायाक्रन्दनिर्यापित भवदनुजां रावणस्त्वामहाशीदे तेनार्थोऽपि त्वमन्धः किमपि मुदमथाः त्वद्वधोपायलाभाद्. Ravana's sister Shurpanakha gave an account of Sita by which he was infatuated and ordered Maricha to become the elusive deer. The lotus-eyed Sita made a desire for the deer and you went after it and killed it with an arrow. As Maricha died, he gave an elusive cry imitating Rama. Hearing the cry, Sita sent away the younger brother Lakshmana after him. Finding her alone, Ravana abducted Sita. Though you were grieved at this, you also felt some joy, as this gave a good reason to kill Ravana. भूयस्त्वन्नीं विजिन्वन् अहृददशमुखस्तद्वधूं मध्यधेने त्यक्त्वा यादे जडायौ दिवमथसुहृदः प्रादनो प्रेतकार्यं गृह्णानं तं कबन्धं जगनितशबरीं प्रेक्ष्य पम्बादडे त्वं सम्प्राप्तो वादसूनुं वृषमुदितमनाः पाहि Vadalayesha. While searching for Sita, the dying Jadayu informed thee that Ravana had abducted Sita and also had inflicted fatal wounds on him when offered resistance. You performed the funeral rites of this friend Jatayu. On the way, the monster Kabandha obstructed thee and was killed. You then gave salvation to the ascetic woman Shabari and also got to meet Hanuman on the banks of river Pamba. Oh, Guru Ayyappa, kindly protect me. With this, the 10th sloka of this chapter is completed. To end this video, we'll have a Ramastuti here. Abhadamabhakartaram dadaram sarvasambadam lokabhiramam sriramam bhuyo bhuyo namamyaham artanam artihantaram bhidanam bhidinasanam dishadam kaladandantam ramachandram namamyaham. Harihi Om.